Hello, guys. If you have been here for a while, you know that I start and end most of the stories talking quite a lot. So if you're new here, I'm just gonna help you skip to whenever the writing shows up. That's when I start narrating. These screens at the beginning is basically just where I introduce the video a little bit and I talk a lot. So if you want to listen, thanks. If you don't, that's your choice. Basically, I was supposed to be traveling. I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to travel yesterday. But then there's a problem, so we just ended up wasting like 4.5 hours of our lives because we went to a different emirate to do it. And then there was problems with check-in, problems with immigration. I don't even know. We travel all the time, but this is like the worst. So we came back home after offloading and stuff. And it's just so like annoying, but it's in the process of being resolved. Anyways, this is part 4 of the Marichat story. It's moving in. This cover I actually drew myself. It's not very good, I admit. I mean, look at the hand. It's deformed. Like, I don't even know. But, I mean, it's my first time doing a cover, so... Anyways, let's get started. A Miraculous Marichat Story 4. Moving in. It was getting late. It was getting late since Adrian ran away from home. He has to find a place to sleep for now. However, Adrian was afraid to ask a friend like Nino because Nino can easily tell his father that he's staying there. He can't take that chance, so Adrian plans on crashing over as his dear friend / crush Marinette's room at Chat Noir. Granted, it was going to be awkward asking Marinette Dupan-Chang that a hero had to seek refuge in a baker's home, but what other choice did he have? It's not like he was very close to Alia or Nino at Chat Noir, so at Chat Noir he jumped from rooftop to rooftop. He thought of many scenarios of how he should ask her and how she would respond. This made him very anxious, but he can't back out now since he just knocked on her window hatch that led to her balcony. Marinette opened the hatch. Chat? What brings you here at this hour? Oh no, is it something I said during the interview? Marinette sputtered out in a worried tone. Chat Noir said reassuringly, No, it isn't like that at all. You see, I decided to run away from my home because of something I found out my father. You see, he is Hawkmoth. Do you mind if I sleep here for a few nights? Chat Noir's reassuring tone changed into a worried / depressing tone. Marinette was in shock at what she just heard, but this wasn't about her. She had to comfort him. Marinette embraced Chat Noir with a comforting hug, trying to relieve him of some stress. While she was hugging Chat Noir, she was gesturing to take Tiki to go into the miracle box so she can inform everyone that Hawkmoth is the father of Chat Noir, and that they needed a plan to defeat him. However, right now, the only thing that matters was Chat Noir. I'll go get you a blanket and some pillows. Is there something your Kwame needs? Marinette said in a motherly voice. Chat Noir was confused as to why Marinette knew about Kwame's, but before jumping into conclusions, Marinette noticed that he was confused and quickly said, I am Multi-Mouse, if you forgot. I helped defeat Kwame Buster with Ladybug and you. Chat Noir felt a little stupid after because for a second there he thought that all along his lady had been Marinette. Of course it's true that Marinette was Ladybug, but he didn't know that. My Kwame is Plague and he usually eats. Chat Noir interrupted Marinette when she said, Camembert, right? He would drop by here often asking for the smelliest cheese we have. Marinette giggled when Chat Noir had a surprised look on her face. No one can blame him, though. After all, he just found out that Hawkmoth had been living under the same roof and that his Kwame would go to a stranger's house for cheese. After some time, Marinette finally got the essentials for Chat Noir and made a bed for herself on the couch. You can sleep on my bed since you have been through a lot, and you won't be able to sleep comfortably on my couch, Marinette said. Chat Noir felt bad for intruding and quickly protested. Marinette and Chat Noir arguing who will sleep to the point where Marinette's parents heard the conversation. After eavesdropping for a little, they opened the hatch to see two teenagers arguing so passionately on a mundane topic. Tom and Sabine were surprised to see Paris' superhero, Chat Noir, in their daughter's room. They knew someone was in Marinette's room or were FaceTiming her, but they couldn't have imagined it to be Chat Noir. Chat Noir? What brings you here? Tom and Sabine said in synchrony. Marinette and Chat's eyes widened as their eyes slowly trailed back to the two surprised parents. Not one of them knew how to explain, since the last time they saw each other was their parents going on Marinette's Sweet 16, and that was an awkward situation on its own. But seeing them in a situation finished the cake. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Dufanchang. I hope you don't mind, but I need a place to stay, and you see, I ran away because Chat Noir Chat Noir was once again interrupted by Marinette. Because of personal reasons. Yes, very good reasons that shouldn't be discussed right now. Marinette laughed awkwardly, then pulled Chat Noir closer so she could whisper in his ears. Please don't discuss the fact that you are the son of Hawkmoth in front of my parents. They will just worry and go off telling everyone, which is unnecessary right now. Chat Noir nodded in agreement and explained to Marinette's parents about him staying in her room for a few days till he had the chance to speak with Ladybug about his concerns. They agreed, knowing that their daughter was responsible enough to have a boy over without being irresponsible. Okay, if you need anything, feel free to ask us. Good night, kids, Sabine said in a motherly tone. She kissed Marinette goodnight and dragged Tom out of her room, who was giving Chat Noir the death stare. So, let's get our minds off of everything and watch a movie for now. We can think about everything later. Marinette said to forget what happened in the last few minutes, with Chat Noir quickly agreeing. They spent hours watching movies while munching on some popcorn, chips, and chocolates on the couch last night, which made both of them fall asleep in the middle of the movie. However, in the middle of the night, Marinette received a text from Luca. That was unexpected of him, because who texts their ex-girlfriend in the middle of the night to talk? Marinette woke up to her phone ringing, so she checked her phone, she was still a little disoriented after watching many movies back to back, so she hadn't realized that a certain cat was cuddling her until now. Huh? Marinette said. Marinette quickly went silent, hoping she didn't wake Chat Noir. She slowly replaced herself with a pillow and slowly stood up. Marinette sat on her desk chair and replied to Luca. Hey, Luca, I'm glad you decided to talk in person. It's a little too late to talk right now, but we should meet tomorrow at the bridge where we had our first date at 12? He agreed in an odd way, unlike himself, but Marinette couldn't care less since she finally gets closure of the whole situation. She glanced at Chat Noir, wondering if she should tell him that she's going to see Luca. But after imagining what would happen if she would have told him, she shook the idea out of her head. After all, she doesn't want to be that person. She doesn't want the person she kissed running into the person she was dating at the time. If he asked where she was going, though, Marinette would tell him. It's the morning of the meeting, and Chat Noir woke up first. He noticed Marinette fell asleep on her desk chair, and she was also shivering. So he quickly picked her up bridal style onto her bed and tucked her in. Chat sighed in relief because he didn't want the girl who had been taking care of him to get a cold. After all, the death stare her father had sent him made Chat Noir nervous. After tucking Marinette in, Chat became a little jittery. He didn't know if he should go downstairs to eat with Marinette's parents without her, or if he should just wait for Marinette to wake up. But Chat was really hungry and thought that Plag would want to eat as well, so he took a deep breath and he went downstairs. He was surprised to see Tom and Sabine together, laughing and enjoying their meal, like a family. He never had a meal like this with his father, so you can say he was happy to be a part of the Dufanchang family circle, because Chat Noir never had a family like this. He was a little awkward towards Tom and Sabine. However, they immediately took him in and fed him some of the finest pastries they had in stock. It was delicious and a nice change of pace. After all, because Asian is a model, he was forced to be on a strict diet to maintain his physique. It's been some time, and Marinette quickly woke up, checking to see if Chat Noir seeking refuge and Luca wanting to talk wasn't just a dream. She sighed in relief after seeing the text from Luca, but then realized the hatch was open. Without hesitation, she went downstairs to see Chat Noir stuffing his face in many pastries. She giggled and said in a smirking tone, I see you're taking advantage of our amazing food. Chat Noir just laughed it off and continued to eat. Tom asked while eating if she was going out, which made Marichat freeze. Marichat really didn't want to tell her parents that she was going to see Luca today, so she didn't mention it. I'll be going to see a friend at the bridge where Andre the ice cream man is always at. Marichat quickly continues in a more confident tone. I'll meet them at 12. It shouldn't take more than 30 minutes, so I should be home by 1. Chat Noir was a little confused as to why he didn't know she was meeting someone. Then she noticed she was fiddling with her fingers. She mentioned this one time as they were hanging out on the rooftop that she fiddled with her fingers when she was nervous. This made him eager to find out who she was meeting, so he decided to follow her to her meeting. An hour had passed, and it was now 10 a.m. Marichat and Chat Noir were in her room when Marichat noticed Tiki gesturing to talk with her. She then makes an excuse that she has to go to the bathroom and leave the room quickly. When she got out of the bathroom, Tiki said, "Man, I think we'll have to defeat Hawkmoth. However, you must know who he is in order to defeat him. Talk to Chat Noir and find out, because us Kwamis can't tell you the identity of Hawkmoth." Marichat knew the Kwamis were brainstorming for a way to take down Hawkmoth, but wasn't at all prepared when she said that she will have to find out the identity of Hawkmoth and Chat Noir, because this will be the final battle, and since Marichat is the guardian of the miraculous, it should be fine if she reveals her identity to Chat Noir, but she hopes it doesn't have to come to that. Marichat left the bathroom while fiddling with her fingers. She was nervous but excited in a way to find out who was behind the mask, but it will be difficult to get it out of him. She knows that Chat Noir is responsible enough to keep his secret, but if push comes to shove, Marichat will get it out of him. She took a deep breath and opened the hatch. "Hey, Chat, I'm back. Do you mind if we talk before I leave to see my friend?" Marichat said while keeping her head up high. "Yeah, sure, what's up?" Chat replied. Marichat took a pause and a deep breath before she said, "I need to know you and Hawkmoth's secret identity," Marichat said with a straight face. Chat Noir laughed so hard thinking it was a joke, because Marichat had always been a stickler about secret identity, but he soon realized that she was being serious. "What has brought this up, Mari?" Chat asked out of curiosity. Marichat needed to know, but she was afraid of the response. She then realized that telling him was the only option. "Well, a princess?" Chat Noir said, waiting for a response. Marichat took a deep breath and walked over to the miracle box and held it in her hands. "Miracle box, open!" Marichat yelled out. "You see, I'm Ladybug. I wanted to know who you were so that I can think of ways to defeat Hawkmoth. I gave you a night to think, but knowing how strong Hawkmoth got since he fixed the Peacock Miraculous, I don't know how much time we have till he is invincible," Marichat said. Chat Noir was in shock, but quickly hugged Marichat. He never could have known that Marichat was his lady, the love of his life, who had been with him since day one. Marichat checked the time and realized she was going to be late for her meeting, so she quickly let go of the embrace and said, "Sorry, Chat, but I have to go. It's important. I'm meeting someone that I can't miss. I hope you understand. We will talk right after this, though, okay?" Chat Noir quickly agreed, excited to have a chance to tell her that he was Adrian Agrest the whole time. And so Marichat left, with Chat Noir trailing her. And that's the end credit on the screen for the original author, who is a subscriber who sent this to me. I've said this in every part. But yeah, I didn't write the story. This story does not belong to me. Right? Okay, anyways, you guys can't get mad at me for cliffhanger because I didn't actually write it this time. Although, it's a pretty good place for a cliffhanger, and, like, the author. Yeah, so it's good. And the next part, I read it. It's a good part. So far, they've only sent me 5 parts, so... And we are not going to pressure them. I'm going to make that clear. Please do not pressure them, because I've obviously been through it, because, you know, I write these daily, besides these last few days where I'm kind of taking a break, but, like, I'm still voiceovering them. It is quite stressful, to be forced into it, it's not as enjoyable. The writing doesn't turn out as good. So yeah, don't force them, or don't like pressure them in the comments, because it's a lot more stressful when you're not doing it out of enjoyment anymore and you're doing it because you're trying to make others happy and you're forced. Like, I'm okay with making others happy. I actually quite enjoy doing that, but some people just don't have the time because, like, you know, they have a life, and so no stress to them. Yeah. And for the question of the day, if you're new here, you want to know I do this. I don't know why you'd be new and on chapter 4 of this story, but anyways, if you're new, I do a question of the day to get to know my subscribers better, because I consider you all a friend group because we have a common interest. And if you look through the comments, you will notice that 99%, if not 100, probably 100, I've never come across a hate comment or anything like really negative. Sometimes there's constructive criticism, like, you know, I spelled the word wrong, because I just wasn't paying attention and didn't like fact check, and there's sometimes people point things out, and that's totally fine. That's like, they're helping me. That's a good thing. But yeah, there's no actual hate on this channel, which is super cool and super appreciated. So yeah, that's why I consider it more of a friend group than a bunch of fans, because, like, you know, especially when there's the comments and I get to read about these people about random things, I find it really enjoyable. And so, like, when I wake up, one of the first things I normally do is open YouTube Studios and see how people have reacted to my latest video. So yeah, the question for today is, what was your best meal today and what was it? So, like, did you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Because I know some people just go lunch and dinner, or brunch and dinner, or breakfast, lunch, and supper, or breakfast and supper, or whatever people do. So yeah, which meal was your favorite and why? I'll just say all 3 of mine, because why not? For breakfast, I had 2 teas. Well, actually, the teas carried on to lunch, but like today I had 2 teas, green tea and English breakfast tea, both very good tea. And I had quite a lot because I like tea quite a bit. And in the morning I had some dried corn with seasoning and a turkey cheese sandwich. That was pretty good. From either Costa or Starbucks. I think maybe Costa, maybe Starbucks. I forgot which one of the two. But yeah, that's what I had for breakfast. For lunch, I had... What did I have for lunch? Oh, my mind's gone blank. I had something for lunch, I know that. What did I have for lunch? Tocado. I had a bowl of rice, meat, sour cream. Normally I also get jalapenos, but I didn't, and beans. I didn't get jalapenos today, I didn't want them. But yeah, that was pretty good from Tocado. So it's like a burrito, but without the wrap. And it was pretty good. So yeah, rice, sour cream, meat, beans, and normally get jalapenos, but I didn't want them today. And then for dinner, I had some homemade pasta that had some corn, beans again for some reason, mushroom, cheese, tomato sauce, and pasta with spaghetti. It was pretty good. I'd say that the best meal out of all of those was probably breakfast, because I like the seasoning was tahini mixed with chaat masala, which is like one of my favorite mixes. So that seasoning on the corn was great, and that also combined with 2 teas. Good way to start the day, in my opinion. And there was also a small turkey cheese sandwich. So it was quite a big breakfast, because normally I don't do breakfast at all. But yeah, it was good. So what was your best meal? And what was it, if you want to share? Thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking on my channel. Thanks for subscribing, liking, whatever you've done. I appreciate it all. I'm not going to beg for likes or subscribers, but would totally appreciate it. Thank you for all the support, all of that. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.